Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joanna Daniel. For those who are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. We're still trying to grow, so we appreciate you sharing it with your friends and family and anyone who you feel would benefit. Good afternoon over Facebook. Um, I'm here today with Chaute Thompson, who's a restoration expert, and Chaute spoke for us recently at our Paint to Purpose conference, which was a very impacting session. And after that, she has an assessment which I've shared in the comment section, in the description of this video, that people have taken and have loved. It's life changing to say. Yeah, it shifts your mindset, really shifts your mindset about relationships and what's healthy and what's not. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Chaute, and then we're going to what we're talking about today. We're here every day on my YouTube channel. Sometimes I go stream over Facebook as well, because in the UK we're in a lockdown again. Chaute, when there are no clothes shops open, yes. So I went into the supermarket thinking that I could pop in and get. I think I need a shelf. That part, clothes are taped off. Things that you
Yeah,
can't get certain things. So it's a little bit crazy for us here. So I
yeah.
know that people are struggling. So we're here every day helping you to be able to manage. So Chaute is a divorced mother of two after being married for 10 years. She's founded Brand New Me LLC. A Brand New Me focuses on helping women to heal and grow using the blueprint she's developed from her own experience and expertise. And as I said to you, that assessment is very, very effective. I've recommended it, and I know people have used it, and I've discovered things about themselves and about the relationships that they're in that have shifted how they do things.
Yeah.
Chaute is also a licensed mental health counselor in Florida and Georgia. Florida Supreme Court certified family mediator, qualified parenting coordinator, and we're probably going to have to get her back, because that just alone tells me that we need to have a conversation about our children.
Yeah.
So she's a really inspiring woman. Go and check out her Facebook page, Brand New Me Chaute.
Brand new me journey.
Brand New Me Journey. Check out her Facebook page, like it and follow, so you can hear more from her. So today, Chaute, do you want to tell anything else about yourself that I've missed out?
I mean, I am really passionate about helping. In my practice, I work with families to strengthen the family unit, all aspects of family. So it could be divorcees, it could be blended families, it could be helping the children to heal and transition, helping families know how to co-parent effectively, how to speak to your children after a breakup, helping them to better understand what's happening in the family, just helping
Mm.
everyone overall with major life transitions. So in my practice, that's something that I specialize in. And then as a restoration expert for my coaching and consulting business, I'm passionate about helping folks to heal and know how to cultivate healthier relationships. And it starts with self, right? So knowing
Mm.
how to first heal and build with self. So when you enter a relationship, you're not looking to be completed, but you're looking to be able to be complemented, and you're
Mm.
able to complement someone else as well. So that's why I created the relationship risk assessment. So we're able to shift our mindset with the types of transparent discussions that we're having from the beginning, because we shy away from these things and we don't think about certain things. So I'm so super happy to be here with you, to be able to speak to your audience. And I'm just happy to help in any way possible.
Thank you so much. And I mean, that is so much, that alone, needs some time. There's so much to unpick there that I believe our audience would benefit from,
Mhm.
just around helping children transition. And from different conversations, we know that that's a problem, that's an issue. And I don't remember who I was listening to this weekend, and I've heard it many times
Mhm.
before, how the breakups sometimes impact children. And because we work with women who are experiencing abuse, sometimes they have to leave
Yes.
because it's a safety issue.
Mhm.
And so there needs to be there needs to be a way to speak to children to help them to understand, because they have feelings about it, they have
They
thoughts about
do.
it. And
Mhm.
it's really important to be able to do that as the adult. Although that's an amazing conversation to have, that's not what we were going to talk about today. Today we wanted to talk about ways to motivate yourself to create change.
Okay.
I was thinking this morning, Chaute, that because we're in a lockdown again and it's winter and it's damp and cold and it's raining half the time and it's not exciting to go outside,
Hmm.
people can feel stuck in many different ways.
Yeah.
Not only stuck because there's a virus, but stuck mentally, stuck in what do I do next? There are people being furloughed, there are people losing their jobs. There's so much change that is happening at a rapid pace, and
Hmm.
people might get stuck. And I wondered how we can help to people to create change and tackle thought patterns, ways of thinking, and mindset around change
Hmm.
so that people can start to move.
Definitely, definitely. That's an important topic and things to be able to go over with everyone, right? So it really starts with refocusing ourselves and allowing ourselves one to feel,
Yeah.
right? To not push it down as if it's not happening. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling frustrated, don't pretend that it's not happening or that it's not okay to not be okay. It's very much
Mm,
okay to not
mm,
be okay. So allowing yourself to sit in it, allowing yourself to identify what you're feeling and making sense of what it is.
mm,
Journaling through, talking with loved ones or people that you trust so you can kind of talk it out and kind of make sense if you are feeling overwhelmed because of finances, or are you feeling overwhelmed because you're doing your best to show up for your children and you're finding it difficult because you can barely show up for yourself, right?
mhm,
So it's all these different types of things that you're possibly trying to unpack. And if we don't spend some time sitting in it and making sense of what we're feeling, then there's no way to be able to get through it. So first
yeah.
things first is allow yourself to sit in it. Allow yourself to identify what it is and then start to make sense of how to move through it. And to move through it, first thing first is journaling, right?
Mm,
And so many of us look at journaling like, I don't like to write. I don't want to do that. Oh, that's not going to help me. I tried that before, right? But there's so many different ways to journal. I love to share with my clients that you can do the traditional pen to paper, just writing it out, free writing, not thinking about what you're writing. There's no filter whatsoever, just write, right? So there's that way to journal. Then there's another way where audio. You have a lock on your
mhm,
phone most times,
mhm,
right? Pick up
mhm,
your phone and just start talking, right?
mhm,
Just start talking. You could be in the shower just talking. You could be in your on the toilet just talking, right? Or in your room by yourself, but just talk it out, right? Not filtering what you're saying, just talk it out because it's as you're speaking, clarity comes. As you're
yes,
writing,
yes,
clarity comes, right? And then if you like art or pictures or memes, you can do it that way, right? Go to Pinterest, go to Google, make a folder on your computer and just get things that really speaks to your spirit, right? That really just speaks to you. And all of those things, you're going to see that you're going to go to things that really speaks to how you're feeling inside.
mhm,
Right. And after you do that, I love to have you wrap up with positivity, right?
mm,
Because then you can shift your mindset from where you are to the clarity to where you want to be. So now start thinking about, like what you want it to look like. It's almost like manifesting, right? It's like
mm, mm,
really honing in on where you want your life to be and how you want your life to look like, what you want for your children, what you want for your family, and start thinking more about that because then that's how you're going to start to come up with a plan of how to get there.
yes, awesome. Thank you so much. There were so many things in there that you said that is just worthy of picking out. Like you said, sit in it, one.
Hmm.
And one way of sitting in it is journal about what you're feeling. Don't hide from it, don't push it down. And that's a really important way of moving, not being stuck. If
Hmm.
you're if change is necessary. And sometimes change is difficult depending on the change that we have to make, the big
Hmm.
transition that we have to go. Because I have to admit that this um virus, this quarantine, lockdown, whatever they call it this time, it's affected a lot of people in many, many different ways.
Yeah.
Families are making life-changing decisions about where they live and how they live.
Hmm.
And sometimes change can be, even in this time, change can be even harder.
Yeah.
But Chaute is saying one way of tackling the mindset around change is to understand, well, how do I feel about it, and write that
Mhm.
down. And
Mhm.
there's so many creative ways to journal.
Yeah.
So many creative ways to journal. What would you say? When you were talking, I'm thinking of the woman. I always have to, because I feel like sometimes in situations like this, more is on our shoulders
Mhm.
than perhaps on the man. And if people are single parenting and having to make these decisions, there's a lot to think about. What would you say
Mhm.
to a woman who probably stuck in that place and is not sure how to begin?
Stuck in what place exactly, though?
The change, the not, I want to journal, I want to understand, I want to move. How do I change my problem at the that, or maybe not even being identified that thinking is problematic, like, how we have these absolute thoughts like, I must do this and I always have to do this, and how do we get her to move out of that way of thinking?
Baby steps, right? It's so important because we can be extremely hard on ourselves,
Yeah.
right? So as we're listening even to this broadcast right now, when we're hearing, oh, I should journal, oh, I should, express how I'm feeling, but I don't even want to, or I don't even have the energy, or I've
Mm.
tried, just taking baby steps, right? It could be placing the journal next to your bed. And that's one step closer to actually journaling, right? It could be actually laying in your bed 2 days later and saying, I want to journal soon, right?
Mm.
And that is a step closer to actually doing it, because now your mindset is starting to shift little by little. So it's granting yourself some grace, right? We are not perfect people, and we
No.
are not going to change like that, right? So it's about taking baby steps and giving yourself credit for the baby step,
Mm.
right? Giving yourself credit for taking that step closer towards whatever that change is that you really want for yourself. But every little step closer to it is progress. So acknowledging that.
Baby steps.
Mhm.
And they, baby steps climb mountains, they cross rivers, they do so
Mhm.
much. When you look back and go, wow, did I do all that? Because
Yes,
you took one little baby step at a time.
exactly, exactly. And an analogy that I love to use with my clients that are feeling overwhelmed or having like high anxiety about what needs to be done. So I
Mm-hmm.
ask, how do you eat an elephant?
Mm,
Right?
mm,
And they look
mhm.
at me and laugh, I don't eat no elephant, right? But then they say, little by little, or bite by bite,
Right.
right? And I
That's
say,
it.
exactly. So when my daughter was little, right, and she had her room to clean, I told her, how do you eat an elephant? She answered me. She drew an elephant on a sheet of paper, and then she identified each part of the elephant to say, okay, this is my closet. The ears are my closet. I'm gonna clean that. The feet, that's my drawers. I'm gonna tackle that. Right? This, like, she identified each part of that elephant, and then that's how she was able to tackle the big stuff. Right? We all have a ton of big stuff in our life, but we
True.
have to eat it like an elephant.
Right. And that's such a creative way to solve the problem. I have teenagers. I'm going to use that actually.
Uh-huh.
So, such a creative way to solve the problem, how to eat the elephant. But you're right. We have so many big stuff in our lives, so many things that are happening that and you know what? I talk about the have tos. We feel sometimes that we must do this now,
Mm-hmm.
it have to happen now.
Right.
And that kind of mindset can get us stuck. And what Chaute is saying, like, try not to think about it in that way. Think
Mhm.
one step at a time, baby steps at a time, small steps at a time, a tiny bite at a time. That's how we make eat an elephant. And somebody's
Yeah,
saying that makes perfect sense. It
yeah.
does, doesn't it? It really does make perfect sense. Makes me think about my type A personality that once it
Mhm,
done, 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 and I have a long list and I have to get through the
mhm.
list today and I add more things and yeah, and at
Right,
the end of the day you can't breathe
yeah,
because don't pack too many things in
right.
again.
And even with that, we can also approach it as an accomplishment list as well as a to-do list, right?
Mm.
Because so many times when we have our to-do list and then we check things off, but we have so many more things on our to-do list, we go to bed at night and we feel like, did I really accomplish
And your
anything?
mind
Right?
made
And
it
your mind is
wrong.
just going, going, going. So what I like to do is I have a to-do list and an accomplishment list, right?
Mm.
And now I have my to-do list, I'm checking things off, but then I'm transferring it to my accomplishment list. So by the end of the day, I can be like, whew, I accomplished this, this, this. I did that. All right.
Yeah.
I'll do it again
Yeah.
tomorrow. Right?
Yeah. Lots of good tips here to manage goal setting and getting
Mhm.
things done and getting unstuck and moving and creating change. I love the accomplishment list because it's a way of celebrating like
Yes.
what I did as opposed to, oh, I didn't complete my list.
Hmm.
Really good. Really, really good. Really great ones there. I hope you're writing things down. I hope you have pen and paper. When you're coming to these broadcasts, bring pen and paper because there's so many
Yeah.
good things to do. A two so far that I know I have to go practice. My accomplishment list and my elephant with my children, like
Yeah.
the teenagers. So creating creating change is going to require something different, and I know you've listed some of the stuff that we can do.
Hmm.
Sometimes the motivation, we feel like we lack the motivation to begin to move. I read something about motivation years ago that really does help. It says
Hmm.
if you don't have the motivation, start, and motivation will meet you along the way, because
Mm.
sometimes we feel like we need motivation to start. And if
Hmm.
you're waiting on it, it's not going to come. It might
Right.
not come. But if you start,
Hmm.
it will meet you along the way. What would you say to that, Chaute?
Well, I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. I love that saying that you mentioned, start anyway, and motivation will meet you along the way. To add to that, I guess I would really just say that think about your end goal.
Mm,
How bad do you want it? Right? Because sometimes we have to do things that we just don't feel like doing.
tr- true.
Right? And if we approach it to where we focus on that goal that we really want to accomplish, then we can do things that we might not feel like doing, but then at the end of the day, we can look at what we accomplished and how much closer to our goal we are. And that can help us to feel good. And that will help to build that motivation along the way
Mm,
as well.
mm-hmm.
So it's okay not to feel like it. That's
Yeah.
human, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we're
Yes.
not gonna feel like
Yes.
doing some things that we know we really want, right?
Yes.
But it's about pushing ourselves because we focus on the end goal.
Hmm. Hmm. Focus on the end goal. Focus on the end goal. Have an achievement list.
Yes, yes.
How do you eat an elephant? Those are some amazing ways to begin to create change for you, to
Mhm,
help you if you're stuck, if you're feeling like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start. Focus on the end goal, have an achievement list, journal some amazing ways to journal through audio, writing. I use pictures. You can use pictures as well to if you're a visual person and you're creative. There's so
mhm.
many different ways to begin to do that. But those are some of those ways that you can begin to create change and to move things along for you,
Yes.
despite where we're living and how we're living and how things are at the moment. Just in closing, I read an article about Norway recently, and in winter they don't have a lot of hours of sunshine.
Mhm.
And I think it was a psychologist that went there to study the people and wonder because depression is not really high in that region, and they wanted to know, well, how? Because
Mhm.
we have seasonal affective disorder where
Mhm.
in the winter time people struggle more, and that's why I'm doing this, because I know it's
Right.
winter and
Mhm.
we're in lockdown. It's going to be difficult for a lot of people. And one of the things they found is that people's mindset around the hours of sunlight that they have and how things were really helped them to not be stuck, to
Mhm.
not have as much depression. And I thought, whoa, just it sounds so simple
Mm.
that the way you think about it helps you to manage it.
Yeah.
some of those things that you've said to us, Chaute, is the way we think about motivation, the way we think about the courage, the way we think about our to-do list, make an appreciation list, focus on the end goal. How we think about where we are really helps us
Mhm.
to move or stay stuck.
Yes. Yes.
What we're telling you, what we'd like you to do from today is to begin to think about it in a different way so that your life can begin to change, so that things can begin to move, so that despite how we're living and what's happening what's happening around us, you will not stay stuck and you can create the change that you need to see in your life. We can be here for a while with Chaute. We're probably going to have to have you to come back because there's something that's on my heart
Mhm.
I know that probably our audience would benefit from. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're there every day at 1 p.m. Please follow Chaute Facebook page, Brand New Me Journey, and her details are also in the description section of this video with her book and some other stuff that's going on that she has that you could benefit from. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your comments and your likes. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Take
Bye.
care.